And it's the last session for these 2 days, so I bet you got tons of information. So thank you for staying here. And you probably heard a lot about this, digital transformation. It's been a theme throughout these 2 days, right? To me, this is way more than just related to digital technology. It's affecting you, the entire company structure, affecting to how you do business, how you communicate with your clients. It's affecting your marketing. So basically everything inside your company is affected of the digital transformation. So it means a lot more than just technology, right? And mobile is really driving this today. And mobile is a kind of a cornerstone in the digital transformation story. So it becomes more and more important of the entire story here, right? And the prediction is like in just a couple of years, almost 90% of all the internet traffic communication will happen in devices. Almost 90%. And if you dive into this number and try to understand how is this communication happening on these devices, it's really obvious that it's happening inside apps, right? So almost last year it was like 86% of all communication on these devices you actually executed in an app. It's not by the browser, for example. I don't have the numbers for this year, but it's all pointing to it actually will increase. So that kind of explains the importance of to have an app strategy and to understand why to do this. So many companies right now, they're asking themselves this type of questions. Do I have the right team? Do I have the right strategy? Do I actually have a plan in place to do this? Many corporations already is there, but it's more than you can expect that don't really have this in place. Digital transformation today makes things move really fast. If you have a successful business or you have a successful services you deliver to clients or customers or users, you can be pretty sure that somebody wants a piece of that, right? So, for example, Nokia, the mobile manufacturing, the company, they were at their peak 2006, right? I think 2/3 of every mobile devices ever sold was a Nokia phone. And the year after, another company, 2007, decided to move into this business. And they completely changed everything almost overnight. And now, Nokia doesn't really exist in the mobile phone business anymore. So things can happen really fast. Another example is of digital disruption. This is what I call the digital disruption here, right? Another example is company Uber. You're familiar with that, right? So what they did was to move into an industry that looked the same for almost 100 years. They just took a step into the taxi industry, right? It looked the same for 100 years. You take me from point A to point B and I pay you cash, right? They moved in here and they completely changed everything almost overnight, right? The company was founded 2009. It's like 6 years ago, right? And I looked at Business Insider's website. The value is now at least over $40 million in 6 years. That's absolutely amazing, right? So they moved into a very traditional industry and completely changed it, and they did it with an app, right? And mobile technology. So no coincidence, right? The logo actually looked like an app icon. So even if you are in an industry that dealing with software or mobile technology, you maybe are in a very traditional industry, this can happen to you, right? If you don't pay attention to the digital transformation story here. So I was watching a documentary on TV a few months ago, and they described this like being inside a perfect storm. And it's never been easier than today to go to market globally. And they had a story about a young kid in Benelux, right? He was like a 14-year-old kid that built their own website for merchandises globally from his boy room in his mother's apartment, right? There were another story about farmers in Bangladesh that had mobile phones to check the price of crops. So it's really available, and it's like everywhere, and things go very fast. So you can ask yourself, how can it be that it can go so fast? How is it possible that it can create a company just 5 years that is worth $40 billion, right? And I think this is kind of the answer, right? This is a very famous quote that is circled around on LinkedIn. You've probably seen it, right? But it explained this. It explained how it can go so fast. So to kind of summarize a little bit, right? Everyone can do kind of global business today, and everyone can reach your customers. So if you have a healthy business, a healthy service today you're selling, right? Every one of your client, of your customers, including your sales team, have a smartphone. So everyone can reach them, right? So when you go there, you better do it right, because everyone can do it if you miss this. So this kind of technology shift require a little bit different mindset, right? So this Sunday, I had a little bit of an epiphany this Sunday, where I was waiting for my flight to fly to here to London to attend here, and I was sitting in a cafe back home in Stockholm. I'm Swedish, by the way, and had a coffee, and I did my tax return, my tax refund, using the tax authorities app, right? And I submitted my tax refund, and then I ordered my taxi using the Uber app. And in the taxi, on my way to the airport, I checked in to my flight using the Scandinavian Airlines app. And I kind of realized, wait, everything we do today is a part of your life. Mobile is a part of your life, right? And as a user, even if I'm working with this, I'm also a user, right? You have certain expectation of what you should expect from an app, right? You have certain expectation. So my advice usually is don't to try it halfway, don't try to cut corners, because users today have a really high expectation of what they can expect. And that's not just your clients, that's also your sales teams. So just imagine, the people you will hire today to be your tomorrow's salespeople, they know how an app should behave, right? So when you do your sales material or your e-learning information, you have certain expectation of this, right? If you don't do it right, they will not use it, right? So keep that in mind. One person that really knows how to do this stuff is Thierry Deringas from PNB Paribas. So he have done this complete transformation of his company, and he's really been driving that internally. So pay attention, because you have some really good insights to share. So over to you, Terry.